All right. And maybe this will do it. Let's check the audio, make sure that's working today. Okay, that worked. I'm not sure what was happening there, but we got through it, which is good. That's good, right? It's positive. Hey there, Chris Courtney here, New Pragmatic. Just giving CouchBot a second to catch up. Had a bit of a hiccup there with the old YouTubes. Also trying a different little setup in here. I kind of moved the big tractor stool thing. Gosh, it's like eating at my desk. Anyway, moved the big stool aside and like kind of got this like perch of a thing. I kind of like it. It's more active. I can move around and stuff, which is probably not great for the mic because like the mic is here and it's not coming with me. I don't know. Maybe I'll get a lapel mic or something. I don't know. I kind of like the big radio style mic. Anyway, let's check ye old. Come on, CouchBot. I'm sure CouchBot will catch up. Got a couple students in here today. Don't have a ton of time because of the YouTube hiccup. Sorry about that. But CouchBot has fired, so that means we should leave the station because I want to take as much time as I can to make sure that we are talking about the goodness today. Greetings, one and all. Chris Courtney here, New Pragmatics. Time for the feedback loop. So good to have you along. We've got Maddie in here this morning. We've got Ricardo in here, and Ricardo's working through his form exercises, and Maddie's totally on the other side of things. She's prepping for an interview, and she's got a presentation deck that we're going to take a look at. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and we're going to get this underway. Okay. All right, so we could start here with Maddie's deck, but I think the better thing to do would probably be to come over here and look at the overall presentation, because I can see that Maddie has got some work to do down below, but it's always good to when you're putting a deck together, you want to kind of outline the deck, and she's doing this in Figma. You can do this a lot of different ways, to be completely honest with you. We've seen Pitch in here before, and we've obviously Google Docs. I've built presentations in the past with Figma. But overall, you want to outline where you're going before you really start laying into like the finer, refined elements of your presentation. And that's one thing that I know Maddie is like right now. If Maddie had to go in and do this, like she would have basically like half a presentation to show, because the first half here looks to be fairly refined, but the second half does not. So if you're watching along at home, try to get it completed, and then go in and then begin to layer in, because what you're trying to do is get a handle on how big is this thing, how much work is it going to actually take. I've done presentations before where I've like started and refined, and it's like 4 in the morning. You're like, oh my god, I got like 30 more slides to go. I actually did that in front of a group with like 300 people before. Not a good feeling. You go in, you're totally exhausted, and you're not going to do your best presentation. So that aside, let's take a look at the actual presentation. So this is Selected Works, and I'm clicking through. So I'm looking to make sure like the prototype is actually working. Go back. It's hello, Maddie. Nice to meet you. She's got Gerber. There's an enterprise commerce project she's working on, and then there's a Q&A. So first of all, love the typography. It's lovely. I know that it's not custom type, but it's a paid font. So I can't tell you. Like I can't if you're watching along, I can't go to get this Google font. It's not a Google font. But the Gerber subscription box, a flavorable product launch and sign-up flow. Okay, so the problem, Gerber decided to expand its offerings to include subscription-based baby foods. While subscription boxes are new to Gerber, they aren't new to families shopping for baby food. How might we pinpoint and improve the unique value of this product? Okay, so the goal here was to design a subscription box sign-up flow that illustrates a differentiated product offering and secures customer enrollment. Achieve X landing page visits in first 30 days, secure X customer enrollments first 60 days post-launch, increase my Gerber loyalty program enrollment by X. So these are questions for those following along at home. These are things that you want to be asking about your projects even before you begin the projects. Like, what are we where are we trying to get to? Now, obviously, Maddie, the thing that I like most about this is you are front-loading the outcome, okay? Because ultimately, you want to get them interested in viewing what is to come. And so much of it is centered around, well, was this successful or not? Do you have any metrics that will tell me whether or not this actually, was this like a visual design exercise, or did it actually do something? Did you just go do some research? Did you just kind of code up something, or was this released into the wild and you actually got data out of it that you can share with us? If you've got data, you always share it. The OKR framework was not formally used in this project. This is individual effort to set placeholder metrics for one-off feature development. Okay, so OKR. So basically, an OKR is where you set a goal in advance. So what Maddie is saying here is that we didn't start with these metrics in mind. We grabbed these after the fact. So the team dynamic. So this is something I always want to know when I'm working through with a designer. If I'm looking at your work, who else was involved? And I need you to actually talk about them through the process. Nothing is solely you. And if something is solely you, that inserts a new issue, which I'm not sure you can do the work in a team settings. Like how do you work with others? Because just about every company on earth that you could work for, it's going to be more than you. Unless it's your company, it's going to be more than you. I also like the duration here, knowing how long it took. So context. So what? Knowing the product. Okay, so this is kind of giving me. Okay, so this is like a glimpse into the different menus for the kids. Framing product via research. So these must be the other groups that you're competing against, and I'm not sure what to feed my 18-month-old. I'm busy. I want my baby to learn to like lots of different healthy foods. So you began sketching, and you then started putting a wireframe together. So there was some initial research there that you're showing me. So you're showing the process, but you're not like look at this specific step, and here are what my surveys said. Like you're not getting into that. You're just kind of giving us some high level information back, which is what you should be doing in a presentation. Okay, this is not a case study where you're trying to show everything front to back. You're trying to take them through a presentation. And here's some more wireframes, and here is a flow, and you've also added. Now I'm not sure if this information. I want to go back over to your presentation and see. So the problem I have right now is that this is a lot of text on screen, and it's pretty small. So what I would like to do is I think I would like to put a focus on the flow. Maybe you talk about what's going on in the flow, and then you have a second screen, maybe where you do something like I'm just going to kind of go back really fast. Maybe where you do something like this, where you basically blur the background, and I can show you how to do that in Figma if anybody's got questions. But you blur the background, but you have that box over the top of this, so that I can still see. I can see what it is that you were just talking about, but then over the top, I get this checks and X's and a larger size. And I would say that for pretty much all of these. Yeah, and that's where we're going to leave that for right now, mainly because you've got more work to do on the second part. All right, so with that, we're going to go over here to Ricardo, and we're going to take a look at his form exercises. So, Ricardo, you were challenged to basically rework this workshop registration form. It's a hot mess. I can see that you're going through the reading, you're paying attention, because I'm immediately seeing things like the stepper come out, where it's like, hey, this is step 1 of 3. A lot of times we'll flip the order here, because I kind of want this. What am I doing? I'm not doing step 1 of 3. I'm doing the workshop registration. So this slides in underneath. Watch out for things like that. Verification is just a misspelling. And then that's kind of an odd placement for the asterisk, just to kind of like tack it on there at the end. I'd probably just put that underneath there. All right, so step 2 of 3, just a couple of questions to customize your experience. This is one of those things where a spell check app, if we come into here to plugins and we go to something like spell checker, I think spell checker is the one that we like. Yeah, spell checker is the one that we like. Customize you experience. It's like, hey, 2 issues here, and it's gonna your and then experience. What I don't like is that it will give you an option that isn't correct, and that's a problem. So, but I would definitely go get that plugin. So it's plugins, and it's just called Spell Checker, and it inserts a spell checking tool for your Figma experience. So next. So you're asking T-shirt company. I'm not sure why company would be there. It's not a big deal, and I'm going to go through your further insight notes in a bit, and then we come over here, and this is payment. I would probably just like put these forms in alignment, and I know that you're not going top down here. You're going side to side, so you've kind of shifted directions. If you've got, sometimes you need home address and other times that you don't. And I'm not necessarily sure that you actually need it here. Most credit cards you can verify with a zip code. Not quite sure about PayPal though. So that might be an issue. And that's the other thing I want to look at here on the, like I don't have a, and this is where the question comes up. I don't even have a PayPal here. So my question here is, like, where did that come from? Like, this was the form that was given, and you're injecting elements into it now that I'm not sure are necessary. So, like the PayPal and payment type, they only had credit card on the original form anyway. I wouldn't overcomplicate it, because you may be injecting issues into your, you can kind of kneecapping yourself. Let's go ahead and take a look at part 2 though. Part 2 is where you're sitting here and you're sorting through all these possible form input fields, and you're putting together what you need. That's interesting, because you're booking a plane ticket. I've got destination. I don't have origin, which could be an issue. Here is data credit card, and here subscribe to a newsletter. These all are pretty good. So let's go down here. Let's go to part 3 and see what you've got, because I am curious about this. So I've got destination, I don't know where you're starting from. So I'm honing in on this one because it this is one of the common things with when you're booking a flight. Like, I need to know where you're going to and where you're coming from, where you're going to and where you're coming from, so I can give you an assortment of options. Um, I will eventually ask you for the credit card information and whatnot, but I can't do that. You know, it's like you've got me at a next sort of situation, but you've got to select the flight here. So while you've gone through and you've gone later in the flow, but we've skipped the part where we like display back um, the options for you. Now, that would typically probably happen somewhere between these two screens, because once you say, oh yeah, I want that ticket, that's where you typically come in and you say, hey, here's my name and all that other information. So this one needs a bit of work, and you know, you've gone with just like straight up form down the page, and that's fine. There's a lot of other ways to design a book a flight booking experience. So a lot of times this moves side to side a little bit, which is, it's counterintuitive when you're thinking about standard forms, but it's very intuitive when you're thinking about, okay, I need to start someplace and I need to go someplace, and those things typically are side to side. So let's go over here. So this is create an account. I already have an account. I'm going to sign up with Gmail. This should be like sign up with Gmail, or input your credentials, or input your first name, last name, etc. And then, okay, so you're going like with the two-step authentication, where you get the confirmation code. So I like that. That's an extension. All right. I think there's just like an or missing here. If we come down here, or come over, okay, credit card, already have an account, sign in. And like the challenge here is no lines, so you very smartly went with boxes that are just color. I'm always looking to see if you're able to spot like how you can get away from the lines, and you've done that. The issue here is, it's kind of interesting. Like, you're creating a credit card, and the prompt here is update credit card. Update credit card typically means there is a card already on file, and I need to come in and edit it. Like, I might need to enter my CCV, or I might need to update the expiration date. Like, so this is like I'm entering a new card, and like you've got update information as the prompt down below, but it's not quite there. So full disclosure, like you're very close to the right spot, but the problem is that you're starting off the prompt in probably the wrong place. And then subscribe. I'm not sure why you would have to sign in to subscribe to a newsletter, because the design challenge here is an error message. So if you just said subscribe, give me your email, and I'm going to hit subscribe, and you know, this email is already in use, or formatting is incorrect. So like that, like the format is fine. I don't have a problem with that. I don't necessarily think you need this present at all. You're just signing up for an email. No different than any other site. But again, the bigger issue is over here. We're not really in a spot where we're editing the existing card. Over here, I don't know where we're starting at, and I can't begin to book the flight until I can actually give you back a list of flights to choose from. Not that anybody's flying these days. All right. So that's going to do it for today's edition of the Feedback Loop. I hope this has been beneficial for you. It certainly has been for me. We're going to do this again tomorrow morning, same time, same place. And while I'll see many of you today, lots of meetings, for the rest of you, if you're looking for mentorship, check out what my friends have to say about being part of the new Pragmatic community. All right, take care.